Testing, 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 testing. Welcome in to another SR51 Media Show. I am your host, SR51 Media. Hopefully you're having a good day today. If you're not, hopefully it turns out for you. Hopefully, excuse me, run that back for you. Hopefully you're having a good day today. If you're not, hopefully it turns out for you. Hopefully you're having a good night tonight. If you're not, hopefully it turns out for you. It's Friday, TGIF. We are all finally off for the weekend. Hopefully you guys are having a great weekend. Hopefully you're ready to tune in to Live Fest 2025 when it does start up. This is the build up for it. I want to say thank you to the management company that I am a part of, Carter Pulse. I want to also say thank you to them, and I want to say thank you to TikTok for giving me an opportunity to be able to participate in the Live Fest Community 2025 stream, and like bonanza, and the festival, this great festival that's going to be going on. I want to give them a great shout out before we start up this stream. And I want to also shout out all my moderators from the MVP Wavies. Shout out, I see you in the stands, MVP Wavy. Thank you for being here today. Shout out to my moderator, MVP Wavy 7. Be sure to go on over his channel, sub up, great content creator as well. From the MVP Wavy 7s to the Dolphins for Life, to the Dat Boy Crosses, to the T's, to the Luigi's, to the Mannies, to the MFWs, to the Dat Boy Crosses, to the NOLA Nations, to the BTWs, to everyone that has been a mod currently on the SR51 Media brand. I want to say thank you. Thank you for being in the chat. Thank you for keeping things orderly. Thank you for showing up the streams. Thank you for showing your support. I greatly appreciate it. This video is going to be kept where you can see it and go back and watch it if you didn't see it. And I just want to say thank you. We all got here together. And yeah, let's keep gaming. Let's game. So, first thing up, we're going to the franchise. Let me kill the audio. There's no football on. I heard there's a 76ers game is supposed to come on. I might turn it on, but let's see where we are. All right. See, if T was here, I would ask him whether he would trade me back Marvin Harrison for Puka Nacua, right? But I think I'm gonna leave Marvin Harrison because I decided that I want DK Metcalf, right? Like it's like one of those end of the year trade options where it's like, okay, how do we want to go about the rest of the year, right? Now, Jahan Dotson has been doing the daggone thing for a while, okay? But Jahan Dotson has ranked out to be a 77, right? And that's with an up overall boost of a 2% temper. So he's really like a 75, right? He's been in the league for 5 years. He has pretty good stats. Very good wide receiver. Nothing's wrong with him. His motivations, he's from Pennsylvania, historic championships, very good player. But if I could get, say, a DK Metcalf for, say, Brock Bowers, right? Because as much as I love Brock, I would love if the Steelers. Who do the Steelers have on their team? Do they also have Njoku? Because they had isn't Luigi the quarterback of the Packers? Oh no, Luigi traded himself out. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay. They don't have Njoku. Well, I mean, also DK Metcalf is an 86, and that's shocking because normally I remember DK being higher than that. It could be because he's not getting the work that he wants to get. Yeah. I don't know what it would take to pick up a DK Metcalf. I know I don't have any first round picks to pick him up, Uh, um, it took me a while to assemble the linebackers that I have, so I wouldn't really feel comfortable moving one of them. Most of the linemen that I have now, we have a 30-year-old Tre'Davious Ward, right? Tre'Davious has been in the league 8 years, very good guy, really holding it down for us up top. So I don't want to kind of lose him, but I like DK and I think that he's a good move, right, for the franchise. But at the same time, I would like how many? Do I have any picks that I could use? Do I have any first or second that I accumulated? No. Okay, so it would definitely have to be. It would definitely have to come from a trade or pick. Uh, boom, 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 boom. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, it could be Brock Bowers, right? Even though Brock's about to be at 99, you could trade, say, Brock Bowers for DK Metcalf and a first round pick. You never know. Let me see how interested are they in Brock. Okay, they have a green interest in Brock. So you could potentially trade Brock Bowers up to the Steelers, right? And maybe get like a good amount of first round picks and maybe like another lineman to help with the line, right? And then you could turn around and take said first round pick and go get Njoku, who I feel like with Brock, I feel as though Brock is this great tight end, right? But I feel like with Brock is more speed, where I need more of the hitter. Like I see where Njoku, I see the difference now between Brock and Njoku, where Brock is very good. Don't get me wrong. Brock is more of like you're gonna rise to a number one way or another. Okay, but he also is gonna require. I don't know. His temper's up, so he has a good morale so far, right? But when you look at what we have going on, he likes the historic championships. He's from California, number one. He's not close to that, and he wants a warm weather state. Now, yes, the a lot of people will say, well, the trade block, the what you call it, what's the name of that thing? Uh, the salary cap is off, so it doesn't matter. Trade you can have them anyway, right? What you have to understand is if I have a player that doesn't want to be here, right? And I trade and I put too many players on the team that don't want to be there, I can have player after player that says, I don't want to sign my contract, I'm leaving, right? And then I don't have any first round picks or picks to be able to replace them. And now it's kind of like one of them, like, okay, prime example, when you look at like the Dallas Cowboys, for instance, right? They had like so many championships, but now, one second. It's kind of like with the Dallas Cowboys, right? You have so many championships that you've won, but then now you're in a situation where basically you're trying to rebuild your team, and it's been a long period of time. Now you have a Brock Bowers, right? You have a hold on one second. You have a Brock Bowers, right? Brock Bowers is an X Factor tight end. He's ranked as the number 3 tight end in the whole entire NFL, right? Great player, but once again, not really liking being here. Now, if you could say bust the Steelers over the head for like some really game changing players, like say you could get DK Metcalf, not even TJ Watt, because we all know TJ Watt is kind of more protected, right? So not even like TJ Watt, but say you could get like, I mean, Jalen Ramsey's been in the game like 10 years. He might come back another year or two, but I think that may mess up the trade, in my opinion. So it wouldn't be him. I'm looking at positions that I'm trying to see if I can get stronger at other positions. Like you got my man Zach right here, Zach Frazier, center, practice squad. Let's pick him up. That'd be a good pickup if I could get him. Um, the right tackle looks nice. He could also go to the practice squad. I might pick him up. Like I said, you don't mess around with no TJ Watt. They ain't gonna come up off of no TJ Watt. You don't need no defensive tackles right now. Alex Highsmith then became a superstar. Is TJ a superstar? Oh, okay. Alex Highsmith then rose to a superstar. Linebackers like Shaq Thompson are pretty long in the tooth type thing, so I don't think I'd be picking them up. Pat Wilson can actually make the practice squad. He's a will side linebacker who I actually could turn to a strong side linebacker, so that would be nice to pick him up. Or I could just place him at strong side linebacker, or I could, or I could take the run at. I could either take the run at Jalen Ramsey, their highest cornerback, or I could take a run at Pat Wilson. Either I'm willing to go either way. But let's put Jalen Ramsey in there, right? And then also, like I said, let's beat him over the head. 1 first-round pick. So here's the pick. How much does Brock Bowers mean to you? Because I'm asking for DK Metcalf, Zach Frazier the center, Jalen Ramsey the cornerback, and 3 first-round picks. And you can have Brock Bowers. What do you think? Okay. For that to even be a red interest shows me that what's probably holding you up is the fact that you're asking for Jalen Ramsey, the second best person on the team. So let's go ahead and take Ramsey off because Ramsey is an older player, right? And let's look towards the practice squad. Let's look towards something like linebacker, okay? Something where it's harder to find. So now what I'm asking for is DK Metcalf, Zach Frazier, right? 3 first-round picks and Pat Wilson. What do you say? Okay. Now you have a yellow interest. So it also could be holding it up is the fact that Zach Wilson is their number 1 center and they would lose their center for their offensive line. Okay. So let's take Zach Wilson off and let's put, to help us even more, let's say, what do y'all have in wide receiver? Okay. You have this boy, Mitch Langford. Now, Mitch is a rookie and he's already a superstar rookie. Okay. And he has a 90 release. This boy looked like he is going to be very good. Okay. So let's put him in there and see how close we were coming to trade. Okay. Now we have a red. Now what we can do is we can take off, say, the 29th pick and just go for 2 first-round picks in 28. Okay. Let's take off Pat Wilson and see if they're willing to roll for 2 superstar wide receivers and 2 first-round picks. Okay. So what the problem is probably because you're asking for Mitch Langford. They're willing to come up off of DK Metcalf. They're just not willing to come up off of Will Langford. So let's come back to the picks. Let's put the 3rd round pick back in. And then let's put, say, Pat Wilson. And then let's let them keep the guys they got. Let's say you look at my man over here, Quentin Lindy. Quentin Lindy has an 87 zone coverage, 70 man, 72 play recognition. He says unpredictable. He actually would like a lot of stuff that he's not going to get on our team. Did you make a custom coach? No, I did not, Ben. Custom coach, yes. I made myself the coach. Yes, I did. I took on the coach, the quarterback, and the defensive tackle positions. Shout out to my moderators, Luigi and Ben. Be sure to go over to their channel and sub up. Shout out Luigi. What's going on with you, Luigi? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. We're in here busting some trades. So I have Brock Bowers. So I want DK Metcalf, but I just wanted to see like whether or not they would go along with it, right? So okay, so you would get DK Metcalf, 3 first-round picks, nothing just about to start a franchise. That's what I'm talking about, Luigi. Who you gonna start that franchise with? 3 first-round picks, DK Metcalf, Pat Wilson, and Quentin Lundy. What do you say? Okay. So how about this? If I took Brock Bowers off of the trade block and I took all these first-round picks away, I'm wondering what it would take to pick up DK Metcalf. Because I kind of like the whole Brock Bowers thing. I think that Brock is one of those, like, once-in-a-lifetime going to do the Browns. Okay, I hear that. I feel like Brock is one of those, like, once-in-a-lifetime type of pickups. So, I just built a line. Don't really want to mess around there. You might be able to pick up, at the same time, you might be able to say trade Leo Chenal to the Steelers and pick up, say, Pat Wilson along with, let's see how much, they're looking for a Mike, right? So what you could do is you could maybe pick up Pat Wilson and DK Metcalf for Leo if they wanted. Okay, yeah, we got an interest in Leo very high. Very high. Okay, we should be able to make this trade work. Okay. Let's bring up, but I'm deciding if I want to relocate them or not. Oh, okay. Somebody's considering relocation. I hear that. Who's out there in free agency? Anybody worth helping me with this trade? Zach Moss, probably not going to work. Kelly Ringo got released. I'm not surprised, but he ain't that bad of a dude. Can I put him on the practice squad? Can I sign him to the practice squad? No, we're not signing him to the active. Zach Moss, okay. Let's pick up You know what? Let's not even pick up Zach. Let's pick up Zach Moss to see if he'll be our like insurance policy that the trade could go through. But 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna take no Zach Moss as a trade for DK Metcalf, especially if I'm only giving them Leo Chenal. It's gonna require like a different player, like somebody that's pretty good. Now they can't get my higher players, but somebody I'd be willing to let go of would be like they're looking for a Mike. Jerry, he's still a rookie, right? Jerry's a 76 now. Hidden. Okay. What's his play recognition? Jerry is actually a top 20 middle linebacker, so I could really... I mean, do I even have another top flight middle linebacker like that? I could actually trade Chenal and bring up Jerry or leave Pat Wilson up there. But we got some good people. We got some good linebackers. I would say if you have a superstar left tackle, I would be willing to give him Grant. Because I feel like with the superstar left tackle, the international guy, he's kind of like what's his name? Jordan Mailata once he gets good. Miss, welcome to the 51 Dynasties community. Welcome to one of the best online communities available today where you are appreciated. Thank you for your support and welcome into the group. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Okay, so let me get because DK on their side, they're not really using them like that, right? So let's do who was it? It was gonna be Leo Chenal, and then I also brought up who's the other person? Leo Chenal, Zach Moss, right, was the other guy. Zach Moss, and it was a left tackle, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if we can get it done for Leo Chenal and Zach Moss. Okay, I didn't even have to trade my left tackle, which is great. And we got DK. We was able to pick up DK Metcalf. Okay, now they got Leo Chenal, right? Oh, I didn't get that what you call it? I didn't get that linebacker that they had. But before we go to that, let's also see. I wasn't able to pick up that linebacker, but they'll probably give him to me regardless. Once I go back over there, they'll probably hand him over. Leo Chenal is very high rated. They're looking for a left tackle, but I doubt they would trade Chenal for a left tackle that I have, like say Grant. Yeah, it would take more than that. We didn't get a first from them, if I'm not mistaken, but we're also gonna be busting some moves for that. They're looking for a left tackle, so they can keep Chenal. I would like to pick up their other lineman that they had. This boy over here, Pat Wilson, because I've seen him turn out pretty well. Okay, we have a green interest, but not an actual yellow interest. Okay, so I'd rather hold the left tackle anyway, because linemen be pretty hard to find sometimes. So we got DK. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is come over to the wide receiver room, check it out. DK actually goes up. That's what I'm talking about. Hold on one second. ESPN breaking news. The Cleveland Browns have relocated and became the first non-U.S. team, now the Toronto Shamrocks. Okay, Luigi, I hear that. My man said we going outside of the league. DK Metcalf shows up, and his overall automatically goes up from 86 to 89. He has an overall temper of an upright of 3. He has a morale of 56, which giving him a boost of 3% on his overall. He is a top 8 wide receiver in the NFL. His motivation and tags, he's happy that he has a big market in Philadelphia, that he can market himself in, and that he has a franchise quarterback in myself. So that's good. Okay, now with Jahan Dotson, Jahan cannot go to the practice squad, and we also can't. Let me see if I can get John Mechie out the injury reserve. Still can't. Okay, so here's the thing about it. Now that I have DK Metcalf back, DK is a Steelers person, right? What I was going to say was I was going to trade Jahan Dotson, right? But then I was also looking at it like, okay, when we look at the wide receivers, we have 6 up here, and then by the time you get down to Metcalf, we have 6. So what I could do to kind of give us a future is I could trade away Puka Nacua, right? But I feel like I would rather keep the 7 wide receivers because once I get rid of Mechie. Now, that would be, from what I can tell, the highest in the NFL. I don't think, like with the Commanders, they have 6, right? And then I don't think nobody in NFL runs 7. I think we would be the first NFL team running 7. That's why I'm thinking with Mechie, I may move Mechie to say pick up, because right now if we under? Okay, we're over. So what I would do is nothing against John Mechie, but I miss Patrick Ricard as our fullback. I think we haven't been able to hit the holes the way we should because we haven't been able to have Ricard. Now Ricard is on the Ravens. So what I'm gonna do, because I wouldn't send I wouldn't send Dotson to the Ravens. I'm gonna pick up, say, Kenneth Gainwell, and I'm gonna see if I can make him rock Gainwell for see if they'll take Gainwell for Ricard, because typically fullbacks don't get no sort of leeway like that with teams. Let's see here. So he is ranked as the number 2 ranked fullback in the league. I had him on free agency, and then I traded him away, and they picked him back up. Yep. And now we got Patrick Ricard. Okay, so we got Ricard back. Let's see what his interest level is. I remember him having like a pretty good demeanor being there. He has 82. His morale's at 55. Still ranked number 2 ranked middle fullback. Close to home, Massachusetts. He's massively closer to Massachusetts than he was in the same way in Baltimore. Big market, franchise quarterback. So he's just as happy as he is. He's just as happy here as he was in Baltimore, which is cool. Yeah, so the positions where I think we can get a little light, and because we got to like think about our future right now with Jahan Dotson and John Mechie, them 2 positions right there wouldn't even get you a first. A big move that would get you a first would be something like, say, trading Puka Nacua back to the Rams. Because I feel like with the Rams have, let me see, the Rams have Eric McCoy, right? And they also have 1, 2, 3. They have 3 first-round picks. So you really could demand, they got a new quarterback too, a boy named Jalen Stuckey. X Factor. Freight train in his first year. Them boys gonna be nasty. So yeah, especially with me giving them back Puka, that gives them like a, their Hall of Fame. I don't want to say Hall of Fame because his career just started. The Sandrocks are starting. Shadari Sanders week 1. I hear that. My man Shadari, I got him on my team. Yeah, you could give them like a freight train of a wide receiver in Puka Nacua and probably demand Eric McCoy, right? And 3 first-round picks, and turn around. You could do Eric McCoy, 3 first-round picks. You could also demand Wyatt Taylor, which would only make, would that be 5? Still have an open space, and probably get, because that's all the people you gave them, plus picks that you gave them to pick up Puka. That's where all these picks come from me giving them picks over a period of time. And then you can also pick up Devin Lloyd. Oh, yeah, this trade would work out tremendously. I traded CMC and a 2028 pick for Milton Williams and Trayvon Henderson. First of all, that's a good trade because of the fact that Milton Williams elevated himself to being a starting defensive tackle. It's not that he's not good. It's that for us to keep Milton Williams, we would have had to basically roll the dice and not paying Jalen Carter. And in my opinion, I'd rather have Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. But if I had my way, I would have kept Milton Williams as well. Like, I feel as though he's a great defensive tackle. You got you a good one right there. All right, so let's bust this trade and see if they go along with it. It'll really help our future. And I was also thinking about another trade, which I'm going to reveal in a minute. Puka Nacua is not going to determine whether or not we win the NFC or anything like that. But at the same time, Puka Nacua is one of them once-in-a-lifetime wide receivers. So before I actually trade him away, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if the Rams have an interest in his defensive tackle that I was looking to move, Derek Brown, right? See if they have a green interest, then we can bust a trade with them for everybody. But if they don't, okay, they have a red interest. So they're really looking for Puka Nacua, okay? I mean, I can probably swing Derek Brown to being a first-round pick and all these other people somewhere else. Yeah, let's you know what? Do me this favor. Find out where my man Njoku is. Right? Let's do this first. How many first round picks do we have? None? Okay, we have no first round picks right now. Okay, so if I bust a trade for Puka, if I traded Puka Nacua back to the Rams because I now have DK Metcalf, right? And I met him in school because his sister is a coach. Wait, Milton Williams? Old black boy. Thank you for them likes. Thank you for them likes. Puka Nacua is kind of like a once in a lifetime 99 player, right? So you want to move him, but then you kind of don't. And then let me see, where's Puka at with the whole motivation and tags? He likes a big market. He likes the historic championships. His rating has him as number 5 ranked wide receiver in the NFL, top 2%. Yeah, he's next level. With players like that, you really don't want to move them. I could get the same effect with trading Josh Hines Allen, right? Or even Abdul Carter, right? I could get similar to the same effect. The feeling I get, right, is that some of these players are going to get boost, and some of these players. So this year, I'm begging that the Patriots win the Super Bowl or something, so he comes back to Texas. I think the Patriots are a good team. I think Drake May is a good wide receiver. Excuse me. I think Drake May is a good quarterback. I think they got a good team behind them. They're young. Mark Babel's got them playing good. Yeah. Touchdown, Shamrocks. Go get him, Luigi. I think that, he's a good, what do you call that there? Excuse me. He's a good coach, right? And I think that basically, at the same time, he is in a very good position to, take them to Mark Babel being a very good coach, maybe take them all the way. You never know. He might get past the Chiefs this year. But of course, I want my Eagles to win. Here's the thing. Okay, so with the left and the right edges, right? I feel that, in my opinion, I'm okay with giving the left edge position to my man Jaden Phillips, right? Jalen Phillips, right? And then keeping Derek Brown. But I feel like with Derek Brown, one of those you won't find him again style players. I'm trying to think of those okay, take Roquan Smith for instance, right? Roquan Smith is an amazing middle linebacker. Don't let me take nothing away from this man, right? Amazing middle linebacker. But at the same time, he's also 29 years old, right? I live in a city where two people that are NFLs were from. Oh, that's cool. You got 2 NFL level players. Roquan Smith is good with everything in Philadelphia, right? We have no problem. But Roquan is one of those players where he's so good that he could provide the future trading to another team. Now let's see the team I was looking at. What was the original trade I was looking at? Was the what's the name of them guys there? Let's see it. First off, let's see his stats. Let's see what he's contributed to the team since he's been here. Okay. He's played for Philadelphia. Let's see the transactions to see what week in your Bengals scored right back. Oh man, you got a dogfight over there. Let's see here. Can we see per game? Okay, that's season stats. Yeah, so those are season stats. So we can't see per game. I think we would have to go to his actual player card. Let me see. I think I have to go to his. That's depth chart. I think I have to go to his player card to see what his actual stats are per game. Okay. All right, here we go. 2020. We can't go per game. Okay. But basically, since he's been here, he has a total this year already of 38 tackles, 5 tackles for a loss, and 2 sacks already. So he already has more sacks than he had the last 3 years in Baltimore, right? He already has 13 solo tackles with a total of 38, right? And he has 2 defensive deflections and 1 forced fumble, okay? When you talk about, can I see the team? We're going through it, Beach Boy. When you're talking about Roquan Smith, right? You're talking about a situation where it really don't get better outside of our moderators for a middle linebacker. But when you're also in a situation, 77-yard touchdown run by Quinton Judkins, 14-7, you better get that first name, Luigi. T, shout out to my moderator, T. Be sure to go on to his channel, sub up, great content creator as well. How's your day going, T? Yo, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, man. All right, T, I have a question for you, okay? Well, no, never mind. I answered my own question. Never mind. Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm looking towards the future. Right? Oh, y'all do that first. Look at the first y'all got. Oh, you got a couple first. So I'm looking towards the future, right? Right before the window closes, because we're in the last week of trades. So what I'm thinking about doing, what I'm probably about to do, is I'm about to bust a trade, and I need a trade that can not only get me good players, but I need a trade. SR stream be like 90% trades, 10%. Okay, so T, I don't know how you maybe have took that, but here's my thing, right? I enjoy making teams as much as I enjoy running teams. I know that people walk in I think you and other people, not everybody, but there's some people kind of like you in this situation that feel like as soon as you walk into the stream, the game should be on. Just play the next game, on to the next game, to me, that's not enjoyable. I understand if other people do that. I understand if that's the way they run their streams. That's not how I run mine. If I wanted to just run game after game after game after game after game, I would get in line with the rest of them niggas and play one-on-one Madden. You know, I'm playing franchise. I'm running it like a franchise. So it has to be run as a franchise. You're 8-0. You don't need to trade. Well, see, you messing your own trade up. Because I was going to ask you if you would prefer Puka Nacua. But see, you over here telling me that I don't need to make trades. And I was about to ask you, how about you hook me up with a first-round pick? Maybe Brian Burns. Nah, I've been trading. But you're none of the other. What do you need? See, that's what I'm talking about. You sit up here talking about, you go talk about, nah, I've been trading, but you're an overall team. What do you mean you have a trade for? I was going to say, don't get me wrong, I needed a first, right? I don't have a first to be able to use as bait on other teams. And I wanted Marvin, but I didn't want to do Puka dirty by shooting him back to the Rams, right? If it's my team, that's the only trades that matter. Right? What I was going to say, how about Puka, because Puka Nacua is a 99 almost wide receiver, right? So with Marvin Harrison, let's go over and take a look. Let's jog on over to the Giants real quick, right? Because I'm not going to like rob you of players and all that type of stuff, but you know, before I send Puka Nacua, and your Rams got a new quarterback. His name is Landon Shekel or something like that. X Factor, freight train young boy. He coming for y'all. He coming for us this season. No, what I was gonna say was with the Giants, I was going to say probably maybe Brian Burns, right? I like Brian Burns. And just keep it simple. Brian Burns. I was going to pick Puka back up. Not Puka. I was going to pick Marvin back up. Wait, you don't have Marvin? Where's Marvin? Oh, well, I can pick Marvin. Wait, don't tell me. Oh, don't tell me Marvin is hurt. Oh, don't tell me. If Marvin is hurt, I can't involve him in a trade. Let me see. But I can always do the trade in week 9. Let me see. Is Marvin hurt? Oh, my God. He has a dislocated hip. He's out 3 to 7 weeks. Oh, my God. All right, so how about this, right? Marvin is out of the deal because Marvin is hurt. How about this? I got to turn the trade window off, so I won't be able to get Marvin. Oh, you know what? Let me see something. We're going to do something here real quick, so that way we can bust this trade. I was about to ask, can I change his injury? Like, how would you change an injury on a player? You would just turn injuries off and jump to the next week. So let's do I have a game? Okay, let's do this. Let's turn injuries off for 1 week, basically. Because nobody on my team is hurt, and the only person hurt on your team. He said, okay, if you got cheat. Let's go ahead and turn injuries off for the 1 week, right? And hopefully what that does is that jumps Marvin back to being wait, where is that? Where is it even at? I have no idea what that is. Ben said cheater. We all, Ben, I can get you some people too. Hold on. Where in the heck is injury? What in the, oh, here we go. Injury. Okay, so injury is going to go off for a week, right? Hopefully what it does is when we jump forward to next week, first of all, I have to cut 2 players. I know I have, I think it's like some practice squad players or something. Hold on real quick. I'm just going to get rid of those people so we can move forward. Jahan Dotson. Jahan Dotson is the extra person. And, the Grant guy. Yeah, Grant goes back down to the practice squad. And I think that was all. I think did I get somebody new or something? And we're going to make this trade. Don't get me wrong. We're going to make this trade. I'm just trying to see. Okay, so the extra person must be Jahan Dotson. So we're going to go ahead and trade away Dotson. I was going to use him in a... Okay, nobody wants Jahan Dotson. Okay. Look for somebody that's looking for a wide receiver. I want to see him go somewhere nice. How about the Chargers? We'll just do a pick. We've done good business with each other. Try to get a pick, second or third, possibly. Okay, Chargers don't want to come up off a third. Okay. You missed it. What, somebody had interest before the Chargers? Oh, somebody was looking for a wide receiver. Let's see here. I want to not send them to a rival too. I kind of want to send them out of town. Okay, what about the Dolphins? Don't y'all have Chop Robinson? Would y'all be willing to trade Chop? What's Chop at? Is Chop still good? What's going on here? Where is Chop? Is he a defensive tackle now or something? He must be hurt. I swear, every time I come for players, man, these dudes be on the injured reserve list and all this crap. What y'all got at linebacker? Y'all got any good linebackers? Willie Gay. Jordan Brooks. Some dude. What y'all got at cornerback? Jack Jones. I'm looking for a strong side linebacker that's at least young that I can work with. The 49ers? No, I can't send them to the... Well, I'm cool with the 49ers. That's my cousin's team. Can they go to the Hidden? Okay, Hidden. Would y'all trade him for Jahan Dotson? Okay, y'all have no interest in that. I'm not surprised. He's a 76. I understand. There's not a lot of strong side linebackers out there. Derek Barnes. Looking for somebody that can go to... That's how I'm supposed to get Puka, not trading Jahan Dotson. That's how the injury was off for a trade. Not this. I can't move forward until I get rid of Jahan Dotson. If I do, the computer's gonna trade somebody in his place. So I have to basically try to trade him somewhere. I was just looking to see if they had somebody available that could take his spot. If not, then okay. We'll send you to the Saints. I'll just take a pick because this will take a long time because he's not that high of a player. So let's go for a second. Okay, they don't want to go for that. How about fourth? Okay, so he really has like 5th round talent. All right, got him for a 5th. Okay. And now we can jump forward a week, and the injuries off should be able to give us, hopefully the trade stays on. I don't think the trades are going to go off. But let's jump forward a week. I wonder why they're injured. Maybe they want part-time. I don't know. They fumbled. I recovered immediately, 21-14. Go get him. He's worth like a 5th or 6th. So bad. It's one of those things where when you have the rating set from Madden in that year, unless you have like a breakout year, if you're not that high, you're not going to be that high. Like it's going to be what it's going to be. You know, that's why I'm like, John, they already labeled him as a trade target veteran. He's only been in the league like 4 years. Okay, so let's see if Marvin Harrison Jr. can now be issued in a trade. Okay, the trade window is still open. And yes, but wait, no. Marvin Harrison is still listed to have an injury. I don't know why he's still listed to have an injury. Let's see. Maybe it didn't take. I don't know why it didn't pop for a week. They still have his injury listed. Let's see if at a player they let you. Your 76ers are down 27-28. I'm about to get it on in a minute. You cannot actually touch the injuries in edit, if I'm not mistaken. There is no way to recover this, man. Like once, this is probably, you know what they probably have to be? I probably would have to pick a player other than Marvin and roll with it, and then come back for Marvin next year and trade you a good player, because there's no way they're gonna let me. He said no Marvin put injuries back. Oh, I'm gonna put injuries back on. Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to understand. So there's no way to clear his injury. So okay, so I would get, say, Brian Burns. Okay. Yeah, I'm still willing to trade Puka. I'm just saying I wanted Marvin. That was the whole point. But I have DK Metcalf. I'm willing to settle. Because I need to get stronger at other positions. Okay. So let's throw injuries back on. We play with the rules. Okay. I'm not gonna leave injuries off. Can you league settings? Oh, what's our draft class shrimp on? I was curious. Normal. Oh no. No wonder they ain't been coming out strong. They didn't. I must have started a new franchise and forgot to change it. I'm about to change. What? I'm glad I changed this before the first draft. The heck? No, Marvin Boohoo, now stop cheating. I'm about to turn it back on, Ben. Calm down, okay, Ben? Calm down, Ben. No, I don't actually think there's any way to move injured players. I think once that injury was on, that injury sticks. If it was like an injury that was like a week or something, you'd be okay. But with like a dislocated, really, to tell you the truth, with a dislocated hip, I think Marvin's done for the year. For real. Well, let me see. Wear and tear. No, that's the wear and tear part. Practice injuries, pre-existing injuries, in low life injuries. No, he's done for the year. Wait, SR, hear me out. You do the same trade you were thinking of with Marvin Harrison, but with Marvin Harrison, you trade him for when he comes back from injury for nothing and switches position. Oh, I see what you mean. So basically, you leave the trade deadline off, give you Puka Nacua and like the first, and then put him as like a punter and come back and get him when he comes off injury. I can do that. I'm willing to do that because I feel like, let's do this. Well, first of all, the trade deadline needs to be off anyway because of the fact that we open the window up to people that join the community now to create players. So we need to have that later on. And also, I don't want to do anything to like, jumpstart the franchise. Okay, so we turn the trade deadline off. Okay, so let's go over here to trade deadline. And trade deadline was on. We'll trade deadline off. Okay, and then we will bust a trade where we trade, because we were going to do Marvin Harrison and Brian Burns in the first. So we'll go over here to the Giants and we'll do Brian Burns and the first we were in question for Puka Nacua. And wait, before we do this, let me assign Marvin first. So you do Puka for Burns a first now and get Marvin when he comes back. Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm going to take. And then let me go over here and make sure, because, you never know. Marvin comes off an injury or something, and then, he doesn't want to be traded or anything like that. He's not going to be released. You never know. He might get released. I'll come back and check after, because there's no trade deadline. So we just put him at punter so he gets protected. And then, yeah, we're doing, and get Marvin Harrison. Yeah, we're doing Marvin, Brian, and a first for Puka Nacua. And then also, I think you guys are like 7-1 or something like that. So this is gonna really, like, this year. I'm surprised the Rams drafted the wide receiver they did. I mean, okay, so we're gonna do where is he? Brian Burns and a first round pick for Puka Nacua. All right, let's see if it goes through. Oh, what the heck? Yo, that's crazy. It's like it did go through. I'm gonna have to. I know I got some people on here. Hold on, give me some reps. Give me some reps. Put a fifth with it. All right. I wanted to. He literally said, "No way, we want that fifth." I mean, I can understand though. It's a first in 2029 and everything like that. Boom, Puka Nacua joins the Giant as the trade's finalized with the Eagles. Okay, how's my man Brian Burns? I'm not gonna lie, Brian Burns and my man, stuck for words. Brian Burns and my man Abdul Carter, yo, that line looking tough. Brian Burns, his morale up. He got a 66 morale. This dude showed up. He ain't got nothing greenlit with us, but he got a 66 morale. He's from Florida. I didn't even know that. Okay. I think stats matter. That's why it matter with trades. Yeah, I really do think like the stats of a player matters more than like basically the position matters, but their ranking and their stats matter the most. Okay, now we have what we were able to get. Now that T has his player, he'll be cool with me making some trades. I'm pretty sure T will be cool. Hold on, Luigi said Bengals touchdown 21-21. No, Luigi, no. You can pull this out, Luigi. 16-14 going into the half. I'm losing. Ben, if you don't turn this around, see what happens, Ben, when you up here talking about people cheating. Okay, so in the 2024, in the 2029 draft, we have round 1, pick 4. So I don't want to actually give up the pick just yet. I haven't decided that I want to give up the pick. But I do feel as though Puka and Malik, oh my God, this is heaven. And look at y'all. Y'all 5-3. You got Puka Nacua, you got Malik Neighbors, you got your right end, who is just a monster over there, right? You got a good team. You're basically the next best team. I mean, well, this year I had the better record, but we could basically say we're tied for, where is it? We could basically say we're the best teams in the NFC East. Like, there's no way the Giants are contending with us or the Commanders at this point. Missed field goal, 21-21. Come on, Luigi. I need you to get this together. Okay, so I was able to bust a trade, right, with Luigi's player, right? Now, here's the thing about it. I have Josh Hines Allen, right? And I have Brian Burns, right? Now, both of these dudes are Brian Burns is a superstar. Brian Burns is actually an X Factor left end, right? But he is a very good edge rusher regardless. Now, what I've noticed is we've started to develop a lot of edge rushers that we may not need long term, okay? Like when you look at, say, take Josh Hines Allen, for instance, right? Josh Hines Allen is X Factor, great guy, best person out there, right? But Brian Burns and Jaden Phillips, Nolan Smith, and potentially Abdul Carter really could get the job done. We really don't need him, right? That's potentially a trade. But then you also have somebody like, say, Derek Brown, right? Who notice how now that his morale isn't like super high for whatever reason, right? Maybe it's an off week, whatever you may call it. He comes back down to a 96, which is only really 5 points higher than Jalen Carter, who is actually an X Factor. You see what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where I can move Derek Brown to potentially another team and get a very good player, or I could hold on to him and watch him soar back up to 99. So then there's also when we were talking about Roquan Smith. Now with Roquan Smith is one of the best middle linebackers in the whole entire NFL. Okay, let's call it what it is. I have nothing bad to say about Roquan Smith. He's a great lineman. And then there's also somebody like, say, if he was feeling froggy, somebody like, say, Tre'Davious Ward. There's people that you can move. There's Minka Fitzpatrick, right? Who you could easily move Minka Fitzpatrick to the left. I mean, you could easily trade Minka Fitzpatrick to that's what I'm talking about, Luigi. Good stop. You can easily trade Minka Fitzpatrick to, say, to another squad, right? And be in a situation where you grab somewhere around, at least, you could probably get at least 2 or 3 first round picks from Minka Fitzpatrick. And then you could bring up Makuba and have Makuba play opposite of Reed Blankenship. Now, would they be elite defenders right out the bat? No. They would be giving up a little bit of balls right out the bat. But at the same time, what would happen is that would give us the future. But it would give us the future, but it wouldn't like lobby our current playoff run. You know, I'm looking at people, I'm trying to see like what people have contributed to the team this year, not what they can contribute later on. Now, Minka Fitzpatrick so far has a total of 1 interception and 51 tackles from his free safety position this year alone. Last year, he had 1 interception and he finished the season with 98 total. He finished the season with 98 total tackles. Okay, so I think I got him. I actually got him from Pittsburgh, right? And if I'm not mistaken, I think Pittsburgh is actually looking for another. What do you call that? Pittsburgh is actually looking for a free safety right now. Let me see. I'm convinced SR would be a better GM than Jerry Jones. Anyone would be. My wife is watching a Jerry Jones documentary, where, I want to go and watch it. I'm not even gonna lie. I want to see the Jerry Jones documentary now, just from the little bit I saw when I walked past it. Like, I didn't know he went through it. It was like, my man said he was getting death threats. I'm like, wow, he's getting death threats just for playing football? That's crazy. I would say they have a good amount of first round picks. Let me see what they have. They have a 26 first round pick this year. I would say 3 first round picks. If you're giving them Minka Fitzpatrick, who is a free safety that they're really looking for, I would say 3 first round picks, potentially at the same time, that boy Pat Wilson. So I would say, how about Pat Wilson? Shaq Thompson's a very good middle linebacker. I think if you're going to lose a Roquan Smith, I think it would be smart to maybe bring on a Shaq Thompson. Even though he is older. I would say Shaq Thompson, Pat Wilson, Leo Chenal, Pat Wilson, and line wise, if I was gonna pick up some line help, I would say see if you can get that center. Take another run at that center. And then for tight ends, they got all their guys. Oh, I know you can take a run at. Take a run at that. Take a run at that wide receiver. That wide receiver boy, they got Mitch Langford. And then you also put in the picks. Yes, I want to see what made Jerry Jones. Why am I now on Netflix? Kick the field goal at the end of the first half, 24-21 going into the half. That's what you got to do, Luigi. Sometimes you got to take the points on the board. Okay, how about this right here? If they go along with this, then I'll roll with this trade and just take the hit defensively. Okay, so how about Minka Fitzpatrick for Pat Wilson, Leo Chenal, Mitch Langford, and 3 first-round picks? Okay, they have a hesitant on that. Okay, what if I took out the first-round pick this year? Okay, so the first-round picks may be coming from Leo Chenal. How about Pat Wilson and 2 first-round picks? Okay, so they don't really value Minka Fitzpatrick like that. Even though they need a free safety, they don't really value him like that. Okay, that's good to know. What do y'all value? How much value do y'all place in, say, Josh Hines-Allen? Okay, they have a red interest in Josh Hines-Allen. What about Brian Burns? Red interest in Brian Burns. Do they have an interest in Jalen Carter? Okay, they don't. So they're mainly looking for a defensive tackle. Okay, I have a 99 tackle, but y'all don't have interest in him. So they're being... Okay, so they want a Mike, basically. They have a yellow interest in Roquan Smith, one of the best ones in the league. Hey, at least he ain't as bad as Nico Harrison. He got fired. That's true. Brock Purdy overthrew Ricky, and now Broncos check the clock, and we lost 12-17. He was almost there, Ben. You gonna kick another one over? You gonna get another game going? Okay, so let's do this. The person I'm looking to maybe trade to really change the game is potentially, I want Njoku back, and I have Brock Bowers. So, and I have a slew of edge rushers. Okay, so how about we keep the New York edge rushers, right? But tell me this, where is Njoku right now? Like, where is David Njoku? I want to know that as a question, basically, for a reason. What team does he play for? David Njoku plays for the Raiders. Okay. If I wanted David Njoku back, what are y'all looking for? A wheel side linebacker or a free safety? Okay. First off, I got Brock Bowers from y'all. And Brock Bowers, don't get me wrong, before somebody says in the chat, Oh, you got to kick another one over, Ben. He said, "Oh wait, I want Brock. Give me Brock. I want Bowers." Okay. You want Bowers? You don't have. Who you gonna give me for Bowers? First of all, I gotta go get David first. Well, you want Brock, huh? He said, "I want Brock." Let's see who's on the Giants that would justify that trade in a sense, because you're weakening me now. You're weakening me. Because Brock was going to be my first round talent. Let's see what y'all got here. You're playing quarterback, of course. Cam Scadaboo. Puka Nakua's over there. Malik Neighbors. We're waiting on my man Marvin Harrison. We're going to pick him up. There's Andrew Thomas. That would be a good pick. Oh, John Runyon. John Runyon's son. Oh, my God. He has to be injured, too? What the heck? Let's see here. Terrence Steele. I don't know who that guy is. I don't know who he is, but, T's right in that went to 99. Dexter Lawrence, of course. Big Dexter Lawrence. Bobby O'Core. I didn't know they picked up Bobby O'Core. When did that happen? Mitch McField. Okay. Christian Fulton. Okay, Christian Fulton. Okay. How about they got O'Core like 3 years ago. Really? Who did Bobby used to play for? I remember seeing Bobby somewhere else. Okay, so how about we do we'll do the 2 linemen and some thirds. And you can have Brock Bowers. But here's the thing. The 2 linemen and some thirds will work. That'll work. Let's do and then you can have Brock Bowers. Because I was going to trade Brock because I'm going after Njoku. So, I'm building you a monster team. You know how hard it's going to be beating this team? I'm just thinking about it. You know how hard it's going to be beating this team when you got Brock Bowers, T at quarterback, T at right edge, Puka Nacua on one end, Malik Neighbors on the other, and Dexter Lawrence coming up the middle. I'm kind of rethinking this. Oh, they got him from the Colts. Okay, that's who he was. Nah, I'm going to trade you him. No, you got him. So, yeah, we're going to go with, he said, trust me, you're fine. You would say that with Brock Bowers. Let's go with Andrew Thomas. And let's go. Where's John Runyon? Oh, Runyon's hurt. That's right. Tim Daniels. Tim might be okay, but I don't want to waste a trade slot on Tim. Cole Strange. He's been around a while. Kevin Thibodeau. We have way too many. Let me ask you this. How do you feel about... Do you feel as though you need Dexter Lawrence? Do you feel as though you're okay with coming up off of Dexter Lawrence in a trade? Because, I would pick up Dexter Lawrence, but I'm curious to see how you feel about it. I had to throw it out there. Because, you know what? Seeing Dexter Lawrence makes me realize that I need to keep my boy, Derek Brown, to be honest. I remember having Dexter Lawrence last year. That dude's a monster. Like, I have to be real. That's a very good player right there. Okay, so we got Thomas, and we couldn't get Runyon because Runyon is hurt. So we'll just we'll go to that other lineman, that young lineman ball that was there, who's like a 69. We'll just throw him on there. Oh, you don't need Sexy. Oh, okay. Well then I'm gonna leave you with the lineman, and then I'll put Sexy on there. I'm not gonna be calling him Sexy Dexy. Number one. But I'll put Dexter Lawrence on there, and then we'll just load it up with that lineman that I was looking at right there, the one ball, and maybe some picks, and just some random little picks, some seconds and thirds or whatever. And we'll throw the great Brock Bowers on there and see if they roll with it. Oh wait, I'm gonna trade away the wrong guy. Okay. So, you're going to have to give more stuff for Dexy. Well, what we'll do is we'll take off all of this stuff if they don't roll with it. I'm willing to leave Andrew Thomas and the other dude there. I just want to see if they go with it. Okay. Take off Andrew Thomas because you do need to be protected on the line. You got a stack team. How'd you get all these guys? Brennan, thank you for the likes. Thank you for the likes. Hold on 1 second. Luigi said Bengals scored 28-24. They stopped us on fourth. What? Come on, Luigi. Come on. You got this one. You got this one. Brennan, we are about 2 years into the Dynasty. I build teams in my franchise, and what I do is I use a combination of about 3 years worth of draft picks, as well as I have the draft cap turned off, and I also have the trade deadline turned off. So when people come into the community and they join up on TikTok and during the live fest, we and they follow everywhere else the community is, we can create them players in the community of whatever team they want to be on. So when I create your player, they start off as a Philadelphia Eagle, but then I trade them to whatever team you want to go to, and you can play whatever position you want to play. Some people want to play quarterback, some people want to be tight end, and then what happens is I don't delete your player, so I keep your player all the way until the next year's Madden comes out. So yeah, that's how we got to where we are with all the players. So how about we'll just do Dexter Lawrence, Daniels, and some picks. Okay. Take off the second, because that's a very high pick. That could be what's holding them up. Let's do 2/3 Daniels and Dexter. Okay, they're still holding them up. Take off the other third. Okay, take off the other third. Okay, so it's one of those I have to give them something to get. Thank you, Brendan. I greatly appreciate that. Oh crap, I'm leaning down on my thing. And 1 second, after this trade, I'm going to run down and take probably a little small, 10, 15 minute break. Check first. Dexy is a higher overall, so I think you're going to have to give away some stuff. Yeah, I'm going to have to put somebody with it. Somebody can't stay on this team because I need Dexter. Dexter going to help us down the field. Let me see. I'm assembling some very good defensive tackles. Them defensive tackles coming together, boy. Them boys coming together. I want to keep the first. Do we have any? I mean, who am I not? Oh, you know what? How close are we? Tell me how close we are. Okay, so we're just a player away. Okay, they're looking for. I maybe can have somebody on the practice squad. I didn't even. Brock Purdy sold the game, and now I'm trading him. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm challenging the first down call. I didn't even get it, even though he didn't get the first down. That is ridiculous. Let's see. Who do we have on the practice squad? Okay, first off, see, this is what I'm talking about. A lot of these guys' ratings have come back down. I would say this guy right here, Landon Jackson, he was going to be the future of our squad, but I'm willing to trade him away to the Giants. He is a very good right end. I'm not going to use him if I have Brian Burns and that guy. Now, I'm not going to be able to get the picks from the Giants, but I'm a fan of Dexter Lawrence. I mean, dag, at this point, it's the Giants' first front seven. He's the first player on the team. That's why he's basically going to be hard to pick up. We're going to do Brock Bowers, and we're also going to do, where is he? Dang, did he pop up? And here he is, Landon Jackson. And let's see if we can pick up Dexter Lawrence. Okay. How about this? I can't see giving you Brian Burns without getting something back because I feel like that's too high. They're looking for a left guard, left tackle. I think I might have a left tackle unless my defense can lock in after I score. They might be able to. They got no interest in Landon Jackson, I know. Do I have any linemen that are available on the practice squad? They're looking for a left tackle. I have Grant, and I also have they're looking for a center. I don't have any centers. I do have Grant. Let's see if Grant and Landon can make it work. So I'd be trading 3 for 1. Let's see here. Okay, so let's do Brock Bowers, Landon Jackson, and who's the other one? Wait, who's the other one? Landon. Oh, the left tackle ball. Who are they looking for? The left tackle ball. Grant. Okay, all for Dexter Lawrence. Okay. At the same time, I'd rather keep the players I have. I'm not really going to use Burns like that. If Burns was on my squad on some stuff like I'm sending him to a rival squad, I wouldn't send him back. But I think I'm willing to send Burns back to make this trade work, and then you'll have a left end and a right end in the trade. Because you are giving me Marvin, and the only thing I got for Marvin was Brian Burns in the first. So now I'm sending Burns back, and I'm getting Dexter Lawrence instead. So I'm okay with that. To pick up Dexter Lawrence, I'm okay with that. All right, and we got Dexter Lawrence. Brock Bowers now in the multi-player deal between the Eagles and Giants involving Brock Bowers, excuse me. Now, what I want to do is I want to swing over right before. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I'm taking a break. See if I want to take a break. I wanted to trade Njoku plays for the Raiders, and I wanted to see if I could pick Njoku up. I wanted to see if I could pick Njoku back up because he was the tight end that I actually wanted over Brock Bowers. And then we have a slew of we're running. Are we running heavy? We running heavy somewhere. We got Dexter Lawrence, Derek Brown, Vita Vea, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis. All right, Brendan, you have a good one. That's what I'm talking about, Luigi. You can work it out. Even though this is going to be a big rivalry, I will always trade with you. I will always do trades with you, too. That's what makes it fun. I'm trying to figure out, okay, what are they looking for? A will sideline, a right edge. Okay, how about Landon Jackson for Njoku? Okay, y'all have no interest in that? Y'all not getting Abdul Carter. That's not happening. Who would I be willing to trade y'all? A free safety? No, I ain't willing to trade you no free. I ain't got no free safeties I'm willing to trade you. Oh, I just assembled my linebacker. Sorry, I can't do that. I am running 6 cornerbacks. You probably could run 5. He said I got the onside. Going for the onside because there's women. He said I got the onside. Let's go. That's tweaking. That's how insane these D tackles are. Watch this front. I'm gonna put off at dudes. Watch this rush effort. It's gonna be nuts. Watch this one. Well, also at the same time, here's the thing. If I was willing to trade Puka Nacua, right? Because this brings Vita Vea into question, right? If I was willing to trade Puka Nacua, SR turn on the trade deadline in the playoff. Yeah, I'll turn it on as soon as the playoffs start. Trade deadline starts. Who you have is who you have. If your quarterback gets hurt, your quarterback gets hurt. I was thinking to get me some firsts, right? I was going to trade Vita Vea back to the Broncos, but the Broncos back to the Buccaneers. But the problem with Vita Vea on the Buccaneers is the fact that they don't value Vita as much as they did when I first took him, right? And I don't think his overall has dropped or anything like that. But I think that, because his overall hasn't dropped or anything. Nah, you know what? I ain't trading Vita. Forget that. Got to go for it on 4th and 6. You can get it, Brandon. Go get that one, Brandon. 55 defense. 55. 6 defensive tackles is a bit much. I would say with Derek Brown being 28 years old and already being 99, and Vita Vea being 31, right? And Vita coming down to being a 9. How much does Vita really like being here? Vita likes being here because we have a head coach win percentage, and he's also a mentor, so he's helping all the other defensive tackles get better. Now, the one reason why I could say that's not really going the way I would want it to go is because of the fact that Vita is taking reps away from other guys that I got the 2.35. Go get him, Luigi. I got to stick around. He said I want Vita just know. See, with this one, right? I'm trying to think about my future with picks, right? So I'm thinking whether or not I should trade Vita because the defensive front is so strong on the team. But I was gonna say trade Vita away for say Well, I'm getting Marvin Harrison from you. Oh, you said wait 7 weeks. How many weeks do we have in the schedule? Is Marvin going to be back in 7 weeks? Let me see. Okay. All right. This is what we're gonna do. Let me think on this trade. I'm gonna take a quick break. Ain't gonna be that long. I'm gonna go on down here with the wife for a little bit, and when I come back, we'll continue this stream. I'll be right back. Did you talk to her today? What happened? Was she okay? Okay. You sit over in your blanket, sleep. So I can fucking trade this. Yeah, I want to watch this. People talking about they want to watch it. Who else talking about that? All right, I'm back. I am back in action. Thank you to everyone that stuck around. Thank you for understanding that I had to go and take a break. Also, I can report that my schedule of being available on the weekends and the weekday, well, the weekdays, I can report in the afternoon is permanent, at least for the foreseeable rest of November. So I will be live in the afternoons now. We can take it from the afternoons into the night sometimes. Basically, yeah, there shouldn't be anything that should stop me. There are going to be days where, I have to run and do something with the wife, or I'm hanging out with family and friends or something like that. But typically, I should be able to be here in the afternoons. I'm also going to do stuff like that where I take a break and kind of go do what I'm doing instead of like shutting down the stream, because a lot of times, I'll shut down the stream, but then we'll play another game and I'm sitting there like, I could have left the stream going. So, just wanted to jump in with that. Okay, I can run back the chat. So let me see here. 7 seconds left. Hail Mary. I'm at the 6. I need a touchdown. Sanders throws threw for 289 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Judkins had 1 ESPN block bounce at the moment. Shamrocks trade Jerry Jeudy and a 4th and 7 to the Colts for Michael Pittman. I could see that. I rushed for 256 yards in 2 quarters. And Andy Reid is past game standards. Like, do you want me to rush for 500 yards or something? Can you live on the weekends? Yes, I can. It says they ain't helping the trade, even though this is a big rival. Okay, I want Vita. Okay, 76ers down 54-63 at the half. Oh, my God. Yes, there's going to be some weekends where I'm live as well. There's going to be, like right now, it's Friday. Unless I have, like, plans on the weekend, I plan on being live. As far as Saturday goes, Saturday I could see trying to get a stream in as well. As far as what I would play, who knows? Like right now we've done about an hour so far in the game and everything like that. A little bit later tonight, because right now it's about 6 or so, right? So I'll probably go for another half an hour, 45 minutes. That's how long another game would take, about a half an hour, 45 minutes, right? So I'll probably play about one more game, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this stream, right? But then I'm going to start up another stream on solely just nothing against where we are now, but on the purple and red brand. And I'm going to play Call of Duty Black Ops 7. So if anybody out there wants to get down with that Black Ops 7, let me know. And we can link up. Y'all might be better than me. I'll tell you right now, I believe T is better than me. I've played with this guy, I think I played a match or two with him or something. And I saw the stats that he pulled down for like just that match. And I was like, yeah, this dude better than me. It's not even like a bad thing. Okay, so we are running heavy roster. I think, I might not even get the game going because I did the game already. So I might just get this roster together so we're ready to go next stream. So the thing about it is, you have a good amount of people. Landon can go back to the practice squad. That's number one. But I was wondering if I could. Landon isn't going to get me a very good wide receiver. Landon's one of those very good players. We're going to run out his practice squad. We're going to leave him on the practice squad and see what he turns out to be. That left tackle as well. We're going to go ahead and move him down to the practice squad for now. Keeping in mind we can't bring people up after the offseason. So what we have here on the draft picks is we have the number 4 pick from New York 2 years from now. Has Landon done anything this year? Landon, the boy I just sent to the practice squad, no. He hasn't even played down this year. I'm not even saying I'm going to keep him. I just moved him down there to get a better look at the roster to understand what we're looking at here. So on left edge, you got 3. Right edge, you got 2. Defensive tackle, you're running way too heavy. Having 6 defensive tackles who are all in the 90s or at least 80 and above is probably too many. Now, Dexter Lawrence is going to hold down his 99. I feel like Derek Brown would hold down his 99. But Vita normally landed at a 96, I believe. 97, 2 or 3 years ago. Like when I first started that first year, he was at least like a 99 when I met him in the playoffs. And then when I traded for him in the offseason, he was like a 96, 97. So he's fallen to a 93 halfway through the season, right? I don't know if T's still here. T had said that he wanted Vita, but at the same time, I have to think more of a pick standpoint. And if not Vita, definitely Derek. Because for them, but see, for Derek to already be 3 points higher and running at a 96 and ranked as number 4, Vita falls. He's only 2 points better than Carter, and Carter's been in the league 3 years, and Vita's been around 8 years. So if we can get, let's say we trade Vita, what would be the offers? Cosmo, okay, so 88 right guard. Jenkins, okay. Jeremy Chin, all right. Caleb Johnson, and Tony Pollard. Okay, so the trade market isn't as high for Vita as it would be for, say, Derek Brown, right? But then also, you gotta think what's harder to find and what's easier to replace. Left edges that are in those higher numbers, these three are where you don't have to worry about the position going forward. Same thing with the right edge. You really don't need to get a third one. As far as linebackers, we did trade away some linebackers for certain people. So we added Dexter Lawrence. Dexter Lawrence stands over top of Brown and Vita, but I want Carter and Davis to get more time. So you could potentially trade and go to 4 defensive tackles and issue yourself. You could probably get a slew of players if you were willing to dish, say, Brown or mainly Brown, and keep Vita and Dexter Lawrence. That way you kept the because X factors in most, if you don't know, in games like this, X factors will not only experience quicker, but not only will they experience quicker, but they will. Couldn't see, right? Not only will. All right, there we go. Camera wise, will be set. Trying to make sure the camera angle. Okay, cool. So not only will X factors gain more experience points quicker, but basically during training during the week, they're going to gain more experience points quicker, and then they're also going to stay at a high level longer. Derek Brown is about to be 30, and when the season's revving and he's running, he is typically a 99. But the problem that comes along with it, he's a superstar as a 99, and he has great value now, but might not have that same value once some other X factors that are defensive tackles get brought out. That's where turning the draft class up will get you. So we also traded away Puka Nacua and Brock Bowers. So if you wanted, say, Njoku, right? What I'm thinking is if I wanted Njoku from the Raiders, who would I have? Who would I have to trade to pick up Njoku from the Raiders? Because that's their second best player. So they have no trade packages. They're looking for... Who is my third quarterback? They wouldn't take Shadari. They're looking for a right edge linebacker. They're looking for a Mike or a Will. I just picked up Kaiser. I feel like that he's going to be great. He's a top 20 weak side linebacker. But at the same time, this is where EA always hating on the 49ers. I mean, I feel like they don't. I feel like they've kept the 49ers as Super Bowl contenders every year. So I'm just going to quit and do a different one. That's my thing, where sometimes you can get stuck into a franchise where you want to bail yourself out. Like, I don't want to just not have any draft picks or anything like that. And then, they're already saying we need linebackers and strong safeties and stuff like that and free safeties and all that. So, I want to trade while it's still good. Like, when you look at it, let me see. Who has a green? Take Njoku off the board, right? So let's say you left Njoku over there, and you were willing to bust a trade with whatever team he goes greenlit for. Does he even have a greenlit? Um, does Derek Brown even have a greenlit team? Because a greenlit team, you could probably push them to 3 players and 3 picks. Hell, you might be able to push them to 3 players and 3 firsts, depending on what team goes green and who you ask for. It's kind of like how a lot of people don't feel as though, like what I said, which you can look back on tape. The smarter trade would have been a trade Micah Parsons to the Philadelphia Eagles for 3 first-round picks. But then also at the same time, he don't like us, so he went with a lower trade. So at the same time, did you ever trade Derek? No, I'm actually in a situation right now where he said EA loves to rage bait me. I'm actually looking at the trade for Derek right now. Now, Derek didn't go green for anybody. Let's see if Vita can strike green for any team. We're looking to see, because a green would get you 3 players and 3 picks, right? We know that, right? So let's say if Derek or Vita do not go green with any team, then the trade we're actually going to make is going to be probably Josh Hines Allen. Because I'm willing to give, it's worse because we 6-4 with half the players out and we traded away all our players. Yeah, that trade deadline ain't no joke, man. That trade deadline come up around week 9, and when it come up, it's basically over with. So I was like, yeah, my little alternate universe, I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Okay, now all Derek Brown and Dexter Lawrence, I went through the entire NFL. For Derek Brown and Vita Vea, I went through the entire NFL. I'm going to head out, SRC. All right, Luigi, you have a great rest of your night, man. Thank you for being there. I'll see you in tomorrow's stream, man. You have a great rest of your night. In my Titans franchise, I decided to cut Levis and Keelan Mond. Well, I mean, you got Cam Ward, you got Jeffrey Simmons. I would say decide what you want to do with Jeffrey Simmons. Is your piece, or do you want a wide receiver? You know? Okay, so with Derek Brown and Vita Vea, I searched the entire NFL, and there is nobody that's willing to go greenlit on them, right? So basically, the smarter pick would be Josh Hines Allen, who, away from his normal super streak, because that's what we are on right now. We're on like a down week, not because we didn't win, but because we haven't played the game yet, right? And everybody's kind of closer, right? So with Josh Hines Allen being a 91, right, and morale only giving him 2 points, taking him to 93, he still is ranked number 5 in the NFL as left edge, right? But when you come down to my man Jaden Phillips, who recently just got brought to the Eagles, he's number 12, and I could put development on him because he's a top 8 in percentage. So 9 times out of 10, by the time a bunch of people over top of him retire, and I put him as a starter, him and Nolan Smith can work their way up, right? So with Josh Hines Allen, we're going to move around and see who would go green. Take notice, right? Okay, so first off, we got a greenlit already from the Broncos. We got a greenlit from the Browns. Okay. Broncos and Browns. Then we got one from the Chargers. Okay. We got one from the Commanders. Definitely wouldn't trade him to the Commanders. One from the Dolphins. Okay. One from the Jaguars. I think the Jaguars was actually the team that I was looking at. Let me pull in here. Was it Jaguars? No, I sent Jai Alexander over there, and they had some people, but they didn't really have who I wanted. So, but that's good to know. Jaguars. Okay. And then you have Packers. All right. And then the team that I wanted him to go greenlit with the Raiders, I guess because they have Myles Garrett, right? They don't want a left edge, they want a right edge. Now, I wonder if I switch. The only reason why I don't want to mess with him yet is because sometimes I decided to go with Dorian Thompson-Robinson as my backup. Okay. If you feel confident in him, go ahead and move forward with him. If you feel confident, put him in a position to develop. In my position, because the Raiders don't want a left edge, I have to go with a different team, right? So we would look at, say, let's go with the offers and see who gets offered. Jonathan Taylor, Cosmo, Jenkins, and Pollard. Okay, so that's less teams than what I know went greenlit. So just going off of teams, I would say it should be. Let's go off of tight ends. Let's go off of tight ends and positions, because I can't say what team you would trade him to, because now I know what teams went greenlit. I know it was the Browns. Okay, they had Brian O'Neill. That'd be a nice pickup. They have Chase Gal. I ain't taking on another defensive tackle. Um, um, or you could go young, right? And you also have to keep in mind the Raiders didn't necessarily say no. The Raiders just said they weren't looking for left edge. They have a red lotus on them. So let's take a shot, right? And see. If not, we'll ship him to a team. You know what? Let's get the first, because we could probably get Njoku for a first. So let's go ahead, because we're now at 52. So by the time we go ahead and trade him, also if we can find a team that's looking for his position, that'll really help with the trade too. Oh, the Seahawks are looking for a right edge. They don't have a lot of players I want to take from them though. And they got Tariq Woolen. That's a pretty good player. I'm trying to ship him over. Well, you know how like you want to ship a player out of conference? Because he's a really good dude. I know he's like, for him being number 2, he's going to shoot up to number 3 or 4. Vikings, they're looking for a left edge too. They probably want to come up off of half of their team. Finding a player that would stay and would work. I know that's what you really got to think of nowadays is these coach mode. Because you ain't in order mode, you can't just move the team at random. I mean, you can, but you don't want to. Vikings. T.J. Hawkinson's a pretty good tight end. I used to play with T.J. Hawkinson from the Lions. I like T.J. I say get a good young player and 2 firsts behind Allen. Okay, my man's saying a young player and 2 firsts. All right, okay. Let me think about it. Who would be young? You got the who going red? Let's see. Not the Broncos. We got the Browns. The Browns got over there. What y'all got? How old is Denzel Ward? 29? How long has he been in the league? 8 years? I mean, they ain't necessarily young. But an extra cornerback always comes in handy. I ain't gonna lie. I am not gonna sit up there and lie. An extra cornerback on deck. Let's see something here. He ain't necessarily young. Browns, Cardinals, Chargers. Chargers have Ladd McConkey. Ladd McConkey is 24 years old. Superstar wide receiver. We're in need of a wide receiver. You mean Jackson Smith and Jobu, huh? You know, the only thing is, if I send Josh Hines Allen to the Seahawks, now Josh Hines Allen is going to line up against me with Dexter Lawrence on the other side. You know, and I feel like it's like creating I've already created a super monster with T's right edge, 99 right edge in the Giants. Him is a 99 quarterback. Who else over there? Malik Neighbors and Puka Nakua and Brock Bowers all on the same team on the Giants that I have to see at least twice a year. So I'm trying to, when I ship players now, I'm trying to think more outside of the divisions and, conference. That's the thing about it. That's what happened earlier in the stream. That's what I said when I'm going to jump into some Call of Duty after I make dinner for the house. Like, it's because I've been doing this, for a couple of hours. Ladd McConkey, not necessarily who I'm looking for, but I will keep that in mind. Ladd McConkey, I like him as a player. I like the sound of that. Because I don't really want to send him. What about the Dolphins? Let's see who they got. Dolphins need a rebuild. The Jaguars, now with the Jaguars, you could probably get a slew. You might be able to get a slew. You might be able to get Travis Hunter. He plays cornerback. He's going to get good. Already 89. CD. Yeah, I know. The Jaguars ain't though. Crap. Wrong kind of water. Messed around. Oh, because I had a cold earlier. And just to clear that up, I had a cold earlier. Just wanted to make sure. He said, I say try Hunter. Travis Hunter and a bunch of firsts. Y'all have a green interest, right? Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter. 3 first-round picks and 2 seconds for Josh Hines Allen. What do y'all say? Okay, they have the littlest of the vet interest. All right, I knew you got swing big in the beginning. Take all the seconds off and the 29th and just put 2 seconds in Travis. Okay, now also the reason why this is happening, I'm glad I was able to get one of these trades to go down like this. The reason why this is happening is because younger, just drafted players in Madden are now more protected than somebody like, say, Josh Hines Allen, who's 29 years old and a 91, right? So you probably could you probably maybe can clear them out for the picks, but you're not going to get like a young player like, Travis Hunter. So we know with the Jaguars, right? Which is a good thing. We know at least with the Jaguars that we are, let's see, Packers, Patriots. Try and get Travis Hunter and put someone else that you don't get. Wait, hold on. Try to get Travis Hunter, but add picks and someone else to do. You can get 2 and a 1. So put Hunter and picks. Oh, I see what you mean. Try Hunter and picks. Here's the thing. You're going after Hunter, right? You might be able to clear them out for the picks and just straight up send him, because Hunter's protected, right? I'm thinking to add, because if you trade him away, you're at 52. You have 2 open spots on the team that you can bring up for linemen. You could think about Makuba as a strong safety, Jeremiah Trotter as a lineman, right? So I'm thinking maybe I put Calvin Ridley on the trade block. Oh, you did Calvin Ridley? You just did that to Calvin Ridley? I mean, Calvin's good, but if you're trying to get some trade value, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm trying to think what would be harder to replace, Josh Hines Allen or Derek Brown, and I think that, baby, thank you for the share. Thank you for the share. He's been all right, but I'm trying to get a younger wide receiver. Yeah, I think that even though Derek Brown didn't go greenlit, I think it'd be harder to replace somebody like T Fire said stop trading. Hey, that's a part of the stream, man. Sorry if you don't normally come over here. I don't do just straight up one-on-one games. I build rosters and then I try to win the championship. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second here, y'all. Anyway, I was saying, you've been trying to get a younger wide receiver, huh? So he said bad rebuild. You have Josh Allen. Look, here's the thing. He played. Look, last year my man went up to 99. He plays very good off the left edge. I feel like it'd be harder to replace a Josh Hines Allen at basically, what is he ranking now? At number 5 in the entire NFL than it would be to be with, say, Derek Brown. Vita Vea is slipping, but between Vita Vea and Derek Brown, if you want to be technical about it, I prefer Vita Vea because I like him as a player when I watch him. But at the same time, Derek Brown has shown that he has the better skill and is over top of him. So, okay, if you was to put Vita out there, would the Buccaneers say hand you picks for him? Because I would send him back to the Bucs. Most players that I like that are not like, scumbags or something, I would basically try to be like, all right, I picked you up at one point from a team. Okay, I picked him up for Jonathan Grenard, so I would, of course, put Jonathan Grenard on there. I don't think I sent him anybody else. I like this new system as well, where the characters are characters, but they're basically characters. The players are basically what do you call it? Wearing jerseys of the team, so you can kind of scan quicker. Like okay, Pat Pollard, I didn't pick that guy up. Derek Hall, left edge, I didn't pick that guy up. So you can know who did you send them if you sent the trade over there. Oh, okay, they have a 77 Sam linebacker. Okay, maybe put him on the trade, see if you can get him. That'd be difficult because I think he's actually ranked as high as Leo Chenal is. 72 wide receiver. You could try for that. Okay, so let's see, first 21. You always swing big. First 21 and 2 first and 29. Okay. All right, they're also looking for, let's say if you made a multi-trade, I have Marvin Mims. Should I get a Mecca? I have Marvin Mims. I feel like Marvin Mims he develops well. Marvin Mims also has a pretty good personality. So he's going to develop well training wise. I would say check them motivations though. See what he wants before you pick him up. Make sure he's going to develop well. All three of these players in the picks for Vita. Okay, for it to be at least a red interest, that'll at least shows me something. What else are they looking for? They're looking for a left tackle. If I remember correctly, I also took Tristan Wirfs, right? And Tristan's a great left tackle, but he's basically playing behind Vita Vea. He's basically playing behind Jordan Mailata, right? And I picked up a different left tackle, so I could afford, and I also have Joe Alt, right? So I could also bring up a young bull from the draft, from the practice squad, and start getting him together, because Jordan Mailata is like about to be 30, right? And also Tristan Wirfs 27, so it'd be different. Not a problem. Jaquan, any other dynasty questions you have? I'll also, if I get rid of Wirfs, it'll give me like basically Jonathan Grenard, another right edge, right? Let's say I put Wirfs on the trade, but then see they have a green interest in Wirfs. That shows me because of how valuable he is as a lineman. So what I would say is, how about we take Wirfs off, take off that wide receiver, and just go with the two players in the picks. Okay, take off the first. Okay, take off the one first. 2 players in the first. Okay, we have a yellow. How about this? If I wanted, say you could keep Jonathan Grenard, but I also want the first round pick from this year. So 2 first round picks and the Sam linebacker. Okay, they have an issue with the first round pick from this year. Okay, what about a first round pick from next year? Okay, a little bit of yellow. I just signed Jake Moody, Jaquan Jackson, and Tyreek Wilson to my practice squad. It's a good pickup. Good hold on. If I gave them Tristan Wirfs back, who do they have at left tackle now? Okay. Because Tristan Wirfs is a big pickup, but those picks that I gave away are pretty valuable for just one person. It's kind of like it's like the year of the Micah Parsons trade. It probably was like that because I was too young to really see, and also they didn't have coverage like that out for regular TV when they traded Reggie White and all that. So, probably was like that the same way it is with Micah Parsons, where it has like a ripple effect, where teams start being like, I can trade this nigga away, and I can get this boy up out of here. Frankly, you could keep Vita Vea and probably make the trade you were looking at happen. Like, I'm going to put all those people back on, right? I'm going to put Jonathan Grenard back on because that would give me flexibility at lineman. I'm going to put their new strong safety on. Their new strong side linebacker who's a 77 on. I'm going to put, how long? No, Levante David been doing it 14 years. That man about to call it a day like next year. And it was somebody else. I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was a young wide receiver they just picked up or something, maybe. Oh, yeah, I think it was. Let me see this young wide receiver, this rookie wide receiver. He okay. Maybe. Let's see what else they got. No, I wouldn't do the wide receiver because I feel like for the wide receiver, you could actually get more picks, which would be more. Let me see, because we need a fifth wide receiver. He might be our new fifth. He might be our first wide receiver that we pick. Is he a rookie? Ooh, he physical too. Ooh, what's his Darrell Collins? Darrell. I knew a Darrell Collins. 88 speed, 90 acceleration. Catching is at 82 and 85 in traffic, which is good. Spectacular is 88. His deep route is at 66, so he would need some help with the deep route. His release is at 79. Jumping is at 90. Ball carrier vision is good. Intense player, already in the top 50%. Morale's at 51. He is looking for close to home Florida, which he is, but he wouldn't have with us. Scheme fit, which he might not have in a warm weather state. He might work. It would be a nice pickup, but I think it would be hard to kind of like develop him in a way. And I wasn't looking to be honest, frankly, I wasn't looking to move Tristan Wirfs. I was looking to move Vita Vea. So with them not willing to, how about this? How about you keep Jonathan Grenard and you just give me the strong side linebacker. We do it like this. Because I already have a first round pick in 29. How about the strong side linebacker, right? Because Vita's dropped since I picked him up. How about the strong side linebacker and this year's first round pick, and you can have Vita back? Close. Okay. What else are they looking for? Will and defensive tackles. Okay, so maybe this year's first round pick is scaring a lot of people away. So, I mean, their first round pick again is only 29. So for 29, I'll take 29. What about your second one? Pretty close. Let's see what the strong side linebacker looking like. What that strong side linebacker looking like? Tell me something. Okay. He got all right. All right. My man got an 83 tackle, 91 acceleration, 80 play recognition, 70 run. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna save Vita in these trades because we at a point right now where we got it going. We got a storyline for the next stream, so we know we got a storyline called In the Zone, right? We are currently when it comes to the football stream, we are currently 8-0, okay, cruising on to the playoffs. We got a storyline that we have to try. We have a weekly recap we have to look at, and we are currently one person below the roster, and we're looking to make some trades with the trade deadline going on. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna end the football stream, okay? So what that means? Why am I hanging up my headphones? We're going to end the Madden 26 stream here, right? And this is going to end my stream for today's live fest on TikTok. I want to thank everybody for being here. But I want to also invite you to a stream on the purple and the red brand. If you don't know what that is, ask somebody. I'm pretty sure they'll tell you. I don't want to violate any rules or anything like that. So just ask somebody, basically. But over there, I'm going to be trying out Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Give me some time to fire up the game and at least see if I got to sign in or do anything like that. And once the game is queued up, I'll bring up the stream and I'll run a couple matches if anybody wants to. All right, Jaquan, you have a good rest of your night. Thank you for being here. I'm going to fire up the game. Anybody wants to jump in any matches, that'd be cool. And then we'll decide, rotate it like that going tomorrow. But it'll probably be a football stream tomorrow. What is tomorrow also? Saturday? Sometime in tomorrow there probably should be a football stream as well, and then we'll probably maybe working some more Call of Duty. But yeah, I'm gonna shut this one down, go make dinner for my household, and then I'm gonna queue up a Call of Duty stream because I want to see that game. I might even play the campaign, who knows, but I definitely gotta see that multiplayer. So you guys have a good rest of your night. If I'm not gonna see you in the next stream, thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next stream. But you have a blessed, safe rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep the numbers up, and I'll see you in the next one. Or really, I'll see you in about 45 minutes an hour. Peace.